Workout?
Oh yeah, it was good. It was good. You know, I feel like I got my wind back in the middle of it. At first, you could just nerves going, but as soon as you start working out, it's just second nature.
How much do you do? What do you do in these workouts when it's a solo workout? Like, what kind of stuff does that? Like, do they just have you go through like shooting drills, conditioning? Like, what kind of stuff do they actually have you do?
I think it's like a mixture of pretty much everything. Like we just shoot it in the beginning, start off and to finish. But like as the workout goes on, it's more conditioning too. You pretty much do like everything. You'll have defense, offense too, making the reads. Just the stuff you'll see in a normal game. So yeah.
Is that pretty much the same for all these workouts that you've done, or is this?
No, this is actually my first one. So,
First one?
Yeah, so I'll have my second one soon in a few days. So I'll let you know how it goes to get this one too. So yeah.
What led your decision to declare after?
I think it's just the naysayers. I feel like like for me personally, I could have done way more and proved to everyone more. And just people saying, with the defense, and I've been working on that, and I just want to prove everyone wrong. And when they say you can't do something, it makes you want more motivated to go tell them, show them that you can do something.
What do people say you can't do?
Play defense. That's why. I don't know if you guys saw. Like, I was talking to myself. So, I would literally say, you can't play defense. Like as like people saying that to me, that makes me more fired up, wanting to prove everyone wrong. Get that edge. Yeah.
When did people start saying that? Is this all I've ever read about you is that you're a good defender?
You'll find it. I mean, I think if you just see like I guess the critics or whatever come into the draft, saying, oh, he should go back to school. He can't do this. He's not ready. That's what motivates me.
How much have you been leaning on your dad for advice during this whole process since he's been around the NBA for a long time?
I think I lean on him a lot. And especially like anyone I have in contact with to ask questions.
Mm-hmm.
Because you're new to this level and you want to ask as many questions as you can. There's no bad questions, and when you learn that mental part first, the game becomes easier. You start to play better, and so it just helps.
It seems like more and more players are coming out who have parents who are in the NBA or WNBA. What is that like? Because I think on one hand people assume that it's easy, but on the other hand, like there must be a lot of expectations and kind of assumptions that people might make because of that.
I think there is the expectation of you should be pretty good, or at least make it to the NBA if your father's or anyone's in the NBA. And I feel like it's still the same. You still got to put in the work. You still got to learn. You still got to do everything else that everyone does. And I just feel like it's you get advantage of the wisdom and knowledge. But you still got to learn how to do it on your own too. So yeah.
Was there a moment when you felt like, hey, I'm ready. I know I can do this?
You say just play basketball at high level or
NBA?
NBA. I would say I always had that belief. Ever since I set as the goal. I knew that I was capable of making it here, and then not just in myself, but in God too. Just knowing that if I was putting the hard work, everything else would take care of it. And so yeah.
What type of feedback have you gotten so far in this early process?
The feedback, you just from anyone? You want me just
I will take you.
Like, did you met with teams at the combine?
Oh yeah.
Like what kind of feedback have they given you, your agent, whoever?
So some of them would say the defense, they're concerned about that, and that's made me even more motivated. Like I said, that's what I mean by everyone saying I can't play defense, and that's I make that a goal of mine, and I try to attack that and really prepare myself mentally for that.
You're obviously a good shooter, but what do you need to work on offensively to play at the next level? Creating your own shot, being a playmaker, things like that.
I would say just playing my game, because I feel like I could be a ball handler coming off the pick and roll, and I think once I just slow the game down, learn the offense on this level, and get comfortable with that. I think the sky's the limit.
Have you thought about how you might be able to fit in with Portland?
Yeah, definitely. I actually watched a lot of game, you know, just growing up. And, you know, I feel like he's one of the best shooters in the game, and you know, just playmakers too. So like, I just picture myself, you know, playing, you know, the teams I go to work out with. Just picture myself in that position. And, you know, in college, I got a feel, you know, of how like to play with other high-level dudes and just be able to, you know, see how I like just envision myself in, you know, on that team. So, yeah.
Now, there's been a little injury history there. Do you think that's kind of, you know, given fire to those critics that have kind of said, you know, those things about you that you're kind of taking to heart there?
Yeah, I would say, you know, people try to, you know, talk about my injuries, and you know, I think that's, you know, in the beginning of the college season, I think, you know, a lot of people saw I was coming off an injury, and then like, you know, I think it was more just proving everyone wrong that like, you know, I'm still capable of, you know, playing at a high level, you know, and just I'm really just working on whatever they say I can't do. So. Yeah.
Thanks, man.
Thank you.
Good luck.
Appreciate you guys.
Oh, by the way,